So now let's work with our second example. I got my clip right here. Let's choose the type of magic from our video. Drag the video right above. Let's bring these two into After Effects. I'm going to change the mode to add. Now let's see when the magic should show up. Let's do it here. Make your null object. Call it wand movement. And then grab your video. I'm going to set a marker right here so I know when the magic should begin. So let's go into the tracker panel and begin tracking the wand. I'm going to put my playhead right here. Track motion, get this and put it on my wand. This will be a little tricky to track. So I'm just going to put this right here and close the box around the bigger part. So it may jump at times, just manually move the point. It's a pretty short video, so you won't be doing it for too long. And then at some point, when you press this, it's gonna do its thing. So you can see that in the first couple of points, it did a good job, but in the next one, it kind of jumps like so. So I'm just going to help After Effects by moving the point in the correct position. Push it forward again. Now you can see that it's starting to get the right point of the wand. It did a good job here. So just keep going forward, either with one frame. And once you saw that it did good with a few of these, then you can just press the Analyze Forward button. I'm going to track the motion of this wand and then we'll be right back so we can continue. So once you're done, you should have a nice curved figure. And the reason why it's a little hard to track the point of the wand is because of motion blur. The subject is quickly moving this wand, and especially when there's a motion, due to the blur, After Effects cannot pick up on the point that you chose. And you can also see that the space between these points are quite long. This is due to the frame rate and the speed. So we only need a few seconds of this because he shoots the magic away, and then we don't need any tracking data after that point. All right, so go back to the beginning of your point. Let's hit U. Make sure you're at the start, then hit apply to your null object. So there's my magic. Let's connect the magic to the wand movement. And now it should be stuck to the wand until the points finish. So now take a look at your video and see exactly when the subject kind of shoots the magic away. So right on this frame, we have the motion blur. Cut this magic video in half, Command-Shift-D. This top layer, I'm going to make it yellow. Disconnect it from the null object. Hit P right on this frame, make a keyframe. Go to the end where he kind of puts down the wand here, and just completely move this out of sight. Make sure that it crosses with the wand so we get an accurate shoot. Easy ease both of these keyframes. And now we should have a nice animation. There we go. For the rest of this, I'm not going to put any other magic powers since he's not really moving them. All right, let's cut the video after he does this. Grab them all, Command-Shift-D, delete the excess bit, hit N so we only see a preview for this long. Now let's do the light layer that we did in the other example. New adjustment layer. Make another adjustment layer, call this flicker light. Change the colors real quick. So on the light layer, we're going to go again with the Lumetri color, the effect, add this right on, go to a frame where you can see the blue magic thing, and zoom right in. So you got to take a look at the distance of this to your subject's face, and based on that, we're going to make the adjustments. So first of all, increase the exposure, make everything blue, or a similar color to this, contrast, and a little bit of purple. I think 2 is good for exposure. Let's try 1.5. This is better. Now let's go to color wheels and add like a purplish blue tint. All right, full screen, get your ellipse tool and mask around this magic thing. Hit V on your keyboard and just pull this up so the center matches the wand. Feather out the edges by hitting F, and you want to be generous with this. All right, I think I'll make my mask a little bigger. Hold down Shift to work with this size. Double click first, Shift, increase the amount. Over here, we're going to connect it to the wand movement, and be sure to scale in your adjustment layer so we don't get this cut. All right, so now this thing is going to stay with the video. Now we have this problem again, so I'll hit P, kind of push it to the side so we don't get that problem. Make the mask a little smaller. Let's test this out. Maybe reduce from the highlights. So now we're just going to work with the opacity. Press U on the null object so we can see the points. And pull this below your magic videos. Hit T, make a keyframe for 100%, push it forward, and then bring it down to 0. So before the magic shows up, we have nothing going on. And then here we do. I'm also going to do the same thing with the magic video. Copy these two, hit T on the magic video. Command V to paste these keyframes. So before nothing is happening, and then we suddenly get the light and the magic. I think the light is too big, too vibrant. So I'm going to reduce this from 100 to like 70. Let's also add a glow effect on this magic power because it's kind of looking bland. Put it on 1. Reduce the threshold, increase the radius. So we just gave it that superpower effect that it needed. Now copy the glow effect and paste it on the second half of the magic that's getting pushed out of frame. And then once the magic fades out, we're gonna have to make a keyframe for mask path. So hit M. Enable the stopwatch and just follow the movement. So there's my glow. I'm just going to move this light underneath the video. And then we're going to do the same wiggle expression on the flicker light adjustment layer. We can just copy it from the previous one. Command C, Command V. Cut it. Grab the light. Copy the mask. And copy the keyframes from this layer. So I just copied the mask from the light layer, the adjustment layer, pasted it here and made sure that the flickering effect matches with the wand. Be sure to feather out all of these adjustment layers so we get a softer look. Once you're done here, hit Command S, Control S on Windows, and now we get this effect inside Premiere Pro. So I cut my video in After Effects. I have to do the same thing here. There we go. Command K, get rid of this extra bit. So just like the first example, we're going to head into the Lumetri workspace and fix things up with the Lumetri sliders. Go to a frame where you can see the magic, basic correction, increase the contrast, decrease the highlights, darken the shadows, make it blue, a little bit of purple, darken the blacks, darken those whites, it's a little too much. In the creative section, we can reduce the vibrance and add a little bit more color with the curves. So a little blue in the shadows, some purple in the highlights. I'm going to go back to the RGB curve and give my video an S-curve. And we're finished with our look. So that's how easy it is to give your subject magical powers. You're going to need the help of After Effects for the tracking, but the end result is all in Premiere Pro. You get to make your video look pretty, add some transitions, some text, and if you have some other clips that don't need tracking, you can edit them right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. Let's move on to the next one.